closest I came to was a slap that Lydia Forson gave me on Sting in the Tail, which was real, which was not planned. So, but this was a.
I'm even touching my cheeks. Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of It's a Wrap. My name is Coco and we have an amazing guest in the studio.
Adjetey Annan, actor, lecturer. It's porn time, so I'm sure you've heard about porn.
I believe what you are experiencing is what we call dissociative identity disorder. It's a condition where a person has two or more distinct personalities.
Porn is your psychological thriller where, a serial killer is on a rampage and this celebrated detective is trying to confront his own mental health challenges, in order to be able to track this, killer down. And so, the ups and downs of it is what this movie is about. Of course, the mental issue is there, and then also the kind of things that we do in our past and the consequences it can have in the future. And so that it makes us, a bit cautious about the things that we're doing now, and because it can have ripple effects. And so basically, that's porn, and porn is normally the a game of chess. It is the one that has the least of value, and so that you sacrifice the pawn in order to protect the queen or the king. So basically that's the movie. But then the question is, do we always think that the weakest is the pawn? Because sometimes, they
the last shall be the first.
Exactly.
True.
So we'll need to find out whether that is the situation in porn when it comes your way on the 2nd of November.
When you saw the script, first and foremost, and you saw the title of the movie, porn, the first question somebody is going to ask is, please, which of the porns are we talking about? What came into your mind when you saw the title?
You see, it's a different thing when you see the title and a different thing when you hear it and not see it. And so when I heard it, when I saw it, PAWN, nothing.
But when you pronounce the word,
same. I think about 99% of Ghanaians are just corrupt.
It's not our fault. It's not our fault.
So I didn't react the way a lot of people do. It will ring a bell that there's another word that sounds the same, but not when I saw the script. No.
True. So when the script was handed over to you and you read the role that you'd be playing, how did you feel? What actually came into your mind?
The first thing I told myself was, here comes trouble, because I know that this was going to be hard. It was going to be difficult because of the roles that I was going to play. But I also thought that, wait a minute, this is very intriguing. This is one of those stories that I've read at the end, I'm like, wow, I never had a clue that this was how the outcome was going to be, because of the twist in there. I bet anybody who watches porn that they will never know what will happen in the end. You can't.
You can't tell.
Yeah, unless you're the writer or anybody who, in the beginning where we didn't know the story, it was only the writer who could tell. And so it's one of those movies that you can't guess.
You just can't guess. There is always twist, suspense from beginning to end.
And it's deliberately so. It's done, deliberately for you not to guess. And so
that's so true. That's so nice. Okay, so before I ask you my next question, when you were trying to tell us about what the movie is about, you didn't mention about mental health.
That's right.
In Ghana right now, we see a lot of the youth and some of the adults even go through this.
That's right.
You playing one of the main leading roles and demonstrating mental health.
That's right.
How were you able to, number one, differentiate the character from your real life, and how were you able to portray that role when it comes to mental health?
Yeah, because of past experience, because I'm one of those who have been talking about mental health issues and how, because of where we find ourselves and our culture, we take a lot of things for granted, and, we either just limit it to whether a spiritual, connotation, or it's just, it will be okay, it's all right, But then, these are serious challenges that we need to be abreast with. And so for me, I needed to confront the characters, as if I was them. I was playing them, and I did a lot of I asked questions, I got a lot of help, in terms of how would somebody in this scenario, feel or behave like, and so that wasn't just from my own, thinking. Because sometimes, especially when we're representing characters, you might be, speaking to somebody out there who is going through or living it on a day-to-day basis, and so you must be careful, in terms of when you're diagnosing it or when we're interpreting the script or character, it has to be true, close to the reality as much as possible, so that you serve somebody's purpose. And so I did a lot of investigations and research, and that helped me live the character that I
honestly, just you describing about the mental health part and not knowing what will happen at the end. Now I want to watch it more. The suspense is just growing within me. Okay, so the next thing I want to find out from you, what surprised you the most playing your character? What was it about that role that just surprised you?
Playing the character that surprised me. I think that the ability to go in and out of character, because there's a time where I played two characters at the same time, so two characters were talking to each other, and you don't feel it until you see it. And so when I saw, I was surprised that I was able not to have character A sort of spill over into character B. It was good to see that there's a particular scene that I thought that took me by surprise.
I did that.
Even though as always I'm my number one critic, so the things that I thought I could have done better. And so but I think that that would be it.
Okay, so still speaking on your character, what was the most challenging thing you did, like playing this role? What was the most challenging thing you faced
with the character? It still has to be, the characters. It was just tough because, 3 pages, for example, where I'm talking to 3 characters who are played by me. And so here I am, how do you, jump from this character? So I speak to this character and then I'm the same character that is being spoken to, and I respond, and how my gestures, how my mannerisms, facial expressions, because I needed to vary them so that this character is distinct from character A, character B, and character C. And so that was very tough and that's challenging. On set, I think that the one of the scenes that really was tough for me to do was where accidentally during the shoot I bumped my head against a structure that was embedded in the wall. And so the force of coming up struck there and it came off the wall. And this was not choreographed, it was an accident. And so because it was when the hit of the shoot, I couldn't say Adjetey, stop. Because I was in character, and everybody was in character, and it was a scene that you can't do too many takes. You have to get everything, because of the nature of it, and you see and you understand why. And so I had to just more like live with the pain when I was going through an emotional roller coaster. I was building on emotion and the inflections going in and out of, and I couldn't stop. And it was hurting. I was in so much pain, and I had to remember my lines. I had to not go in and out of character. My emotions had to be there. It was a tough scene. I haven't experienced anything like that. I mean, the closest I came to was a slap that Lydia Forson gave me on Sting in the Tail, which was real, which was not planned. So, but this was a.
I'm even touching my cheeks.
It was levels higher.
You guys go through a lot to bring the most beautiful characters on scenes for us to watch. Another thing we want to know concerning this movie is, how did you prepare for your role? Was there any special routines or techniques that you used? For some actors or actresses, they have to stand in front of a mirror and do something, just to be playing that role. Was there any special techniques?
Special techniques? Not that I remember. Was there any special thing? I think that, of course, there's a few things that I did that I've not done with regards to playing other roles, because of the nature of the character that I played. And so I had to do a bit of research on the internet to see how to vary my speech, for example, in terms of pace and in terms of the tone. And so that's what I did. Of course, the mirror is my friend, and so every now and then I go back to it. But beyond that, I spoke to mental health, expect. And so that's a first for me.
True.
Relating to my character. The first time I did speak to the mental health practitioner was not related to a character. It was just a personal thing. But this one, I had to speak to him to be able to give me some information that I needed to be able to live the characters. So that would have been, yeah, that would be it.
Okay, you brought mental health again. Yeah. A thought just popped up. How do you change into a different person to play this role, and how do you come back to your normal self and play it? Because in this scenes you played different roles at the same time, because you did mention of being playing 3 different characters at the same time. How do you balance the two?
Yeah, what helps is that you make each character live, and so you give them life. How do you give them life? So they have a name already, but then you give them specifics. So when I get angry, this character gets angry, maybe he throws something at you. When the character B gets angry, he only glares at you. When the other gets angry, maybe he doesn't see anything, he just goes numb, but you can feel the intensity in his eyes. So give them the attributes, give them the mannerisms, the gestures, so that then you lock them down, then you move to B, then you give them a different, and so it's like a jacket that you wear. When it's character A, these are the boxes that you take, and so you put it on and then you deliver. It helps, so that you don't forget, so that you don't really have, some mannerisms, spilling over into the others, because there has to be a clear distinction. And so that helps. And you have to, rehearse way before shoot, so that you get that, going in and coming out. It's much more flexible.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about other cast members. Who was your favorite person that you enjoyed being on set with during this shoot?
That's tough to say, because at every point in time, whoever that I engaged with was my biggest challenge in terms of the output and delivery. I think that they helped me maintain character, because they really pushed me, and so I can't give it to anybody, honestly.
Yes.
I think that the only scene that probably, the scene with Lydia forcing, that led to the bumping of the head was really charged, because it was more like one of the climaxes of the production. And that scene, you'd have to see to understand what I mean. I mean, it was really charged, and for a moment I forgot that I was acting as performed, because I thought this is real and I'm in it. And so that would be it. Yeah.
So moving on, what is one thing about your character you wish people noticed more?
That Adjetey is playing the character. I'm not the character.
The character. You wanted to differentiate between the two. Why?
Because I know Ghanaians can lash out at you
after a movie. They'll be like, this person is the same person in the movie. Was there any incident or a situation where somebody ran into you and was like, they don't like you because of a role you played?
Oh yeah, it's happened. Yeah. I've had that experience with I've always talked about this woman and this son who met me at the Fuasataland Park, and the son recognized me and came to embrace me, but the mother had not recognized me yet. And so when she approached me, then she recognized that, oh, I'm the actor. Then she grabbed the boys and said, stay away from such rascals. And then she moved. She said, I don't know her. And then I turned. Sometimes people put on that act, and then they'll crack into a laughter and say, oh, Pusha, I'll just acting like you. Yeah. But I turned, and then she stared at me and gave me an eye,
I don't like you.
Yeah, and then she walked off upset.
So you're very sure that it was because you played a particular role?
Yeah, it was because I played the bad boy Pusha.
Okay, I get it. I get it, bad boy Pusha. Okay, so what was the funniest moment while filming Porn?
Oh, the funniest moments. We had a couple of that where there's a moment where Sika didn't know that I would grab her. Okay. So it was unawares. I mean, we're not planned. I hadn't even rehearsed it. But in the moment where we're shooting, it dawned on me, a realization dawned on me, and then it was spontaneous. So as she's sitting here, I'm like, and then
Jesus is Lord.
Because it was never rehearsed, she wasn't expecting it. Yeah. So she reacted genuinely, and she panicked for real. You know, because you see my eyes in that moment, the character's eyes, and the tension that was built in.
Oh my goodness.
That was something.
That was something.
Yeah, she held her breath for, after
a minute.
shoot, she was a bit, okay, Adjetey.
But did you laugh?
That was bad.
After that, did you laugh?
Of course, everybody laughed after.
Okay, that's so funny. But honestly, I didn't see that coming. Okay, so who in the cast would you say is most like their character in real life?
Oh my goodness, that would be Richard.
Okay.
Richard Amarko, is it?
Richard Amarko.
Lawyer. What do you call him? Lawyer T.
Lawyer in team. Okay. So wait, who he is in real life is the exact person in the movie. Can you tell us a scene where he was able to demonstrate a little bit of who he really is in the movie?
Charlie, he was always like that. I mean, he was always, and he was annoying sometimes, waking us up. There's a scene where, I'm supposed to dish him a slap, and for a moment I wish that it landed.
You see my teeth? You wish the slap had just landed. Why?
So annoying.
Okay, so what scene are you most excited for audience to see? Because I have my fingers crossed.
This, when you said that about 3 scenes, immediately jumped into
Tell us all the 3 scenes.
Oh, no, I can't.
No, at least tell us 2. 2. We just want to know.
No.
2 is okay. 2 scenes. 2
I'll
scenes.
tell you one.
Choose horse. Okay, tell us one.
The unmasking of the killer. That's it. I've given it out.
No,
you're not supposed to have any clue.
Okay.
The masking of the killer. And what else would that be? I'm trying to remember another scene. Oh, my small fight scene in the club.
Pressure.
Yeah,
you see, we just have to, guys, we know that we all have to go out on this day to watch the porn, because it looks like there is so many things that Adjetey Annan is talking about right now that we all want to see. The fights, you see, he was just giving us scenes upon scenes, which we really, really love to do. But what would you say was the biggest takeaway from working on this film?
Oh man, look, don't take anybody for granted, and especially, men, we have to be sensitive to our women. We refer to them as the weaker vessels. I think that phrase is so wrong. It's so wrong. I mean, it's we're living in a bubble if we think that phrase is true. It's not.
It's not at all.
We are the weaker vessels, the men. Oh yeah. And so,
you hear?
Man, guys,
you hear?
Well, if you don't believe me, come and watch porn. You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
But hey, we don't take anybody for granted.
Sure.
Looking down on people is one of the things that Ghanaians sometimes do. Do you know who I am? That kind of thing. But you never know who the other person is and what they're capable of doing.
True.
So it will make us set up to really value everybody, no matter the level of the ladder that they are, their status. They have something in there, and it's until you push somebody to the edge that when they react back, that's when you know what they're capable of or incapable of.
That's true, and that's so beautiful. But is there something you wish you could have done differently in the movie?
But if I say it, then someone will say, just because of that, I'm not coming. Okay. But we also want you guys to come out there and watch the porn. So you see this one, we just give it to you. We won't answer that question. But what is the one thing you want to tell fans out there? And also, why should they come out to watch the porn? Look, you just come and see. I think, look, this is one of my most challenging, works ever, because it took everything out of me. I was exhausted after every shoot, and come and find out why. I was in pain, and listen, you just have to see it. I think that this is my best output to date, if you will. So come watch it and tell me that you believe the contrary. and then we can Jojo. Silverbest Cinemas is 5 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m. We know that place is going to be packed, so we're giving you an additional time of 5 p.m. so that you can come in and watch it quietly and move away before the place becomes so choked, you know. And so please.
This was one of my best episodes of It's a Wrap. You already know. We sit here, we talk about the movies, we tell you who the characters are and our favorite scenes in it. My name is Coco, and I want to say a big thank you to you all for watching It's a Wrap. And I want to say a big thank you to Adjetey Annan for coming into the studios and telling us about the porn. But guys, I'm going to be there watching the porn. It's not the one that you Ghanaians have been thinking. It's PAWN. See you there. Bye-bye, guys.